Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all for this webinar session, Transforming Customer Service with AI-powered service agents. Firstly, thank you for your time. Before getting into the webinar, we would like to introduce our team. So I myself, I'm Saravana. I head the business for CRM and Power Platform in Cetas. And I have Rajshekhar, CRM practice head in Cetas, and I have Madan, CRM practice team lead from Cetas. So I would like to hand over to Rajshekhar to start this webinar. Over to you, Rajshekhar.
Yeah, thank you, Saravana. So I'll take a minute to introduce the CRM modules. Say, for example, we have the sales module, which is actually the most preferred or sought module in the CRM stack, which is actually dealing with the sales pipeline management system, typically the leads, opportunities, quotes, and the forecasting. And you also have the target monitoring capabilities in that, and even the miniature version of the campaign management within the sales module. And next is the customer insights, which is actually the campaign automation tool of Dynamics stack, which has the customer journeys through which we can actually automate the entire campaign in your company. And there's also even planning capabilities within the customer insights module. Then we get the customer service module, which is actually a typical ticket management system. We have the cases, and you have the entire case lifecycle management within this customer service. You can monitor entitlements, SLAs. You have the knowledge bases with which you can actually fetch details for the cases and then submit your customers. And finally, we have the dynamic field service, which is when you're actually not able to solve the problem from the cases. Using the cases, you'll reach out to the customers on the customer site, and then you solve the issues or you attend to the problems. You typically raise a work order and then eventually schedule that work order to a particular location, and the technician travels that particular location and then solves the customer issue. So this is actually being done with the Dynamics field service. So you also have an exclusive mobile app for the technician, with which the technician actually carries out the work. And finally, the project operation, which is not part of the slide, again, that helps you manage projects from the sales side of things. You'll be able to quote projects and then manage leads and opportunities of a project during the sales cycle, and eventually convert that into projects and then even manage the projects using WBS, scheduling that particular activities to a resource, capture time entries, and then monitor the financials of the project. So that is the project operations module. So yeah, in a nutshell, yes, so these are the modules within the CRM. And now we are focusing predominantly on the customer service module and an agent, which a custom agent, which is actually being created in Copilot Studio for creating tickets and attending to customer queries. So why we chose a custom agent is that, so again, we wanted to do something with respect to the custom Copilot Studio. We wanted to build an agent using the Copilot Studio. So that is why we went for a custom agent kind of a thing. Yeah. So I now hand it over to Madan, who is actually well versed in this CRM modules in terms of knowledge, and he has implemented a lot of projects for customers. So over to you, Madan, from here.
Yeah, thanks, Rajshekhar. So as a part of today's webinar, we will be concentrating more towards the agent, Copilot agent, which was built using Copilot Studio. Basically, the agent name is a ticket management agent. Let me try to give you a few short description about the agent, what the agent can do, what are the capabilities which has been built using those agents. Then I will be jumping into the live demo per se. So with respect to this ticket management agent, so consider this ticket management agent as your partner. So when I say partner, most of the service related company as a first line of service management, what we will be doing is we will be incorporating a human person in order to create a case. For example, your customer will be making a phone call, or you will be receiving an email from a customer stating that we are facing certain issue regarding the services which was provided by a client. So how traditionally how this ticketing management system has been configured in the system per se is at a constant basis, a human intervention is required, starting from creating a ticket, logging a ticket per se, and routing the ticket to a respective person per se. So this is the traditional method. So in order to reduce the workload of the first line management team, what we have done here, what we have thought is, why can't we create a ticket management agent using the Copilot Studio functionality, and how we can able to seamlessly integrate this ticketing agent with our Dynamic 365 customer service module or a contact center module. That is the thought process in which initially we have just begin with developing this agent kind of a thing. So with on the context, what this agent does it is so simple. For example, if an inquiry has been received from your customer, either from your portal, we will be you will be in a position to provided a customer facing portal to your end clients, where which this bot has been integrated. Using this bot, your end client can able seamlessly have a conversation, to and fro conversation with the agent regarding the issues which they are facing on a daily basis. So those issues will be logged by this agent automatically inside the Dynamic 365 customer service module. That is the overall construct of using this ticket management agent. So the core capabilities of this agent is starting with the feature release. Let me try to show try to answer some of the important aspect which has been incorporated inside this bot. So this bot doesn't log your ticket. As the initial step, it will log a ticket inside a CRM system. Before logging a ticket inside a CRM system, which is a customer service module, what this bot does it is do a kind of a relative analysis using the knowledge base article which has been built inside Dynamic 365 customer service module. When I say knowledge base, internally, depending upon a historical data, we will be in a position to define certain resolution for a common issues which the client is facing on a daily basis. For those common issues, we could have created a rich knowledge base inside our Dynamic 365 module, which is a dataverse repository. What this bot does it, depending upon the issues which the customer has logged in, it will search the relevant knowledge base from the dataverse, and it will try to publish those knowledge base to the customer, stating that on a live chat it will give you a kind of a resolution, so that the customer can by default he can able to resolve certain simple issues like how to reset a password. Right now the portal is not getting logged in, there is an I am just facing those issues, those kind of a mundane issues. This bot will try to fetch in the central repository, which is the internal knowledge base articles, and it will provide a real-time resolution to the client rather than logging it as a ticket. So this is the main construct of using this knowledge base article inside this Copilot agent. And the second most important capability which we have just added inside this agent is guiding ticket creation. For example, if irrelevant knowledge base has been found inside the system, however, the agent couldn't find a relevant resolution for the issues which has been added by the client on in the live chat, what this agent does it will not knock you out of from the chat window. What it will ask it will probe you with other relevant question. What are the other symptoms which you are just facing with the issues? Likewise, all those inputs will be consolidated, and within a one-click action, a new ticket will be seamlessly created inside the customer service module. Henceforth, human agent will take over this ticket, and he will be probing you with a call, or he will be providing a resolution per se. That is the concept of using a guided ticket creation. And the third most important aspect which you have just built using this bot is real-time tracking. When I say real-time tracking, I have just logged a ticket. As a customer, I want to know the status of the ticket, at what line this ticket is sitting in through. So with the real-time tracking, I can able to, just by sending the ticket ID, the bot will instantaneously pick the status of the current case. So these are the core capabilities which has been defined inside this ticket management system bot. So I've just explained all this thing in a simple words in the slide, why this matter. Basically, it is going to be a companion. You doesn't require a human intervention in order to solve your mundane problems. So this will be acting as your companion. If it is of a mundane or if it is of a simplistic issues, there is no need of waiting for an 4 hours or a 6 period of a TAT in order for a human to connect to with you in order to resolve those issues. That is the main concept of creating this bot. This is what it has been defined in this slide, and this is the goal for which we have just For this goal only, we have just created this bot. So let me try to jump into the demo. Let me try to show you a simple use case of how this bot will interact with an human per se. So this is a simple Copilot Studio bot. This can be embedded with your any of your active website or any of your Power Pages which you have just built. When I say Power Pages, you're a customer self-service portal kind of a thing, which you just currently have. You can able to embed this bot directly to your website or to your portal pages. So with this construct, I will just try to show you a simple demo of how this ticket management agent, which is the smart ticket agent, will work. So initially, you need to authenticate your sign in order to interact with this bot. For this, what I'm trying to do here is I'm just trying to hit on login. Okay, so this is the Copilot bot screen, which has been embedded in one of my demo website. So the concept here is you can able to directly just give this. You can able to directly embed this in your existing website or inside your customer self-service portal, which has been built using Power Pages kind of a stack. So initially, I need to authenticate the user per se in order to interact with my bot, which is the Cetas ticket management agent. So let me try to log in inside my system so that I can able to initiate a sign in or a first sign in with my bot. So an OTP kind of authentication code will be compiled by the system. You need to paste this OTP in order to in order to interact with this ticket agent. So I have just pasted my OTP. I have just established my connection with my bot. So this is the introductory message of the Copilot bot. So here, using a simple natural language prompt, these are the prompt which has been built for a customer for a easier purpose. Let me try to go with a simple prompt like raise a ticket. So if a raise a ticket has been provided, the bot will give you a question whether you do have attachment or when I say attachment, most probably in a real-time basis, whatever the error which is happening, the customer used to take a screenshot or they used to download the error logs from the system. So based upon the construct, what is the first question the bot is raising is how many attachment could you like to include to support this ticket? So I'm just going with a simple one. Right now, I do have one screenshot. Then the second question which has been raised by the bot is could either you can able to describe your issue in words or else you can able to attach the screenshot or a file kind of a system. So right now, what I'm trying to do here is because this is going to be the major use case of whoever is trying to use the bot. I do have a screenshot of my error message. Let me try to add that error message. So this is one error message which I have just downloaded from my system, and I am just giving an instruction to the bot, a simple instruction debug, and I am just making this input to the bot. You could able to see the bot is trying to analyze the image which has been added by the end user. We have just used an by default hey prompt, which is basically an image analyzer, in order to fetch in the details, whatever the screenshots which has been added by the client. Using that AI hub prompt, what we are trying to do here is we have just converted that whatever the screenshots which has been added by the end client into a readable message. So here you could able to see that prompt has segregated the issue, stating that this is the error message which has been added by the client as a screenshot. This is the ticketing description which the AI hub has created on an automatically basis depending upon the screenshot which has been added. What is the UI state? UI state is nothing but the screenshot which has been added by the client. What is the description which has been added by the UI state? So this is how the AI hub using a natural language prompt, we are trying to segregate the attached error message into a descriptive error message. And the next question, what my bot is asking is, does this accurately describe your issue? Yes. This is the issue which has been added in the screenshot. It has been accurately described by the AI hub. So I'm just going with a use case of yes, the description is so fine. In the background right now, what the system is trying to do is it is trying to analyze whether any existing knowledge base article has been added for this particular issues per se inside the database table. So that is the reason the system is taking time in order to retrieve certain resolution from the knowledge base article. It will pull in some details. So here you could able to see the bot has automatically pulled in a description which has been added inside. Basically, the resolution which has been added inside the knowledge base article. I'm just as an end user, I'm just trying to check whether the resolution or the knowledge base which has been provided by the bot is appropriate or not. I'm just checking. I'm in a field that this is not an appropriate resolution. So I'm just trying to answer this question. If the guide helps you to fix the problem, basically the construct here is uh, the issue has been inputted by the client and the issue has been constructed in a descriptive manner by the Copilot agent. Once the issue has been constructed, the Copilot agent is trying to fetch in if there is any kind of similar resolution is available for this kind of issues which has been prompted by the client. However, the resolution which has been provided is somewhat inappropriate. As an end user, I don't want to go with this resolution, and I am feeling that this issue does not, by following this step, the issue which I'm just facing will not get solved. So what I'm trying to say is, no, this guide doesn't help me to resolve the issue. So that is the reason I'm just going with the answer call as no. So within few seconds, you could able to see this, the bot will automatically create a ticket, and those ticket will be created as a case inside the Dynamic 365 customer service module. So this is the output. So here you could able to see the agent has seamlessly created a ticket automatically depending upon the inputs, the issue description, whatever which has been added in the previous tab. Those description has been added as an case description. A case title has been created, and who is going to handle this case? Basically, reported by is the end user who is trying to submit this case. And a simple message stating that our customer support team will keep in touch with you. And subsequently, it is asking whether you want to create another ticket. I'm just saying no. To give you a heads up, we can able to compare whether this ticket has been whether ticket has been created inside the Dynamic 365 module. I'm just navigating back to the ticketing management system, which is our Dynamic 365 customer service hub. Here you could able to see this is the first ticket which has been created by the agent right now. You could able to see right now the date is 28 and 4:17 p.m. This is the ticket which was seamlessly created by the ticket management agent. If I open this ticket, I could able to see all the relevant information which has been appended by the agent. Starting with the case title, this is the case number. I'm just moving back to the bot to uh, to verify whether this case number and this case number matches. You could able to see this is the same case number against which customer this ticket has been created. This entitlement, this SLA logic will be automatically appended depending upon the configuration which is present inside your ticketing management system. And this is the issue description which has been added by the ticketing agent under description. So this is the seamless way of creating a ticket by a ticket management agent. So I'm just moving back to the bot. Right now, we have just created a ticket using the Cetas ticket gen Copilot bot. As a customer, I want to check the status of the ticket which has been created, for example, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, or else we can able to check the status of the current ticket which has been created. So let me try to pick this ticket which has been created 3 weeks ago. And I'm just trying to pick the case number because this is going to be the unique identifier which has to be inputted to the bot in case if you want to check the status of the ticket. So here, what I'm trying to do here is I'm not trying to end the session with the same session. I am just giving another natural language prompt, check the ticket status. So the bot responds, please enter your case number. So as I previously mentioned, you need to precisely send the case number, which is going to be the unique identifier in order to retrieve the details. So this is the case title, this is the case number which I have just copied from the system. I'm just inputting this thing. So you could able to see the ticketing agent has seamlessly retrieved the status of the case. As you could able to see, these are the key information pertaining to the case. The case number matches. What is the title of the case and at what priority the case has been created. It is under normal priority. The status of the case is waiting for details. So by this way, using this bot, you can able to create a case. Before creating a case, you can able to search the relevant knowledge article in order to find the exact solution for the problem rather than creating a case. As a second step, if a relevant knowledge article or resolution is not provided by the bot will seamlessly create a case on behalf of you, and this case will be automatically created as a record inside CRM, which is a Dynamic 365 customer service module. On top of that, in case if you want to inquiry the case details per se, what is the current status of the case, you can able to get those details per se using a simple interaction method with this Cetas ticket management agent. So this is a short live demo which we have just constructed for this webinar. Let me move back to the slide. So on top of this, I want to touch base certain things which has been incorporated while creating this Copilot bot. Basically, we are adhering to the Microsoft Secure and Responsible AI framework, which was defined by Microsoft. So these are the three pillars which has been incorporated for building this bot, starting from a zero trust identity. Basically, the zero trust identity is like the initial OTP which we have just defined in order to start interacting with the bot. To make it so simple, unauthenticated user cannot have a direct interaction with the bot which we have just built. That is the pillar one criteria which we have just defined for the bot. Pillar two is brand and content management. For example, prompt injection or in case if somebody is trying to utilizing this tool called as prompt injection in order to get some data, in order to get some business critical data from the Dataverse module that can be blocked using this brand and content safety management thing. And utmost important thing, the third thing is a privacy and compliance check. All this privacy and compliance checks has been adhered while creating this bot with respect to this GDPR as well as DPDP data residential model. So the final thing is the licensing part. What is the license which is required for the end client in order to utilize this bot? It is so simple as that. In order to create the bot, you do require a Copilot Studio. But in order to use this bot, per se, if you want to interact with this bot, the only license which is required is Copilot credits. And the base license, whatever which you are trying to buy is Dynamic 365 customer service module. Any base license is more than sufficient enough so that you can able to start interacting with the bot. The two most important licenses, Copilot credits in order to use the bot. Depending upon the interaction, whatever you are just trying to do with the bot, this credit system will get exhausted. So whatever the inputs which you are just provided, everything will be calculated on the basis of Copilot credits per se. And the base license is Dynamic 365 customer service module. The other licenses, what we have just mentioned in this slide is we have just used certain Power Automate flow inside the Copilot bot. That is the reason we have just mentioned Power Automate. Power Pages is nothing but since we have just integrated our bot with our customer self-service portal, we have just positioned a Power Pages for authenticated user per se. This AI builder is nothing but the imaging. For example, I have just added a screenshot. From the screenshot, the system has automatically rendered a certain description. Basically, the image processing, we are using AI Hub, which is a separate license that has been tied up with the Copilot kind of a credits. So this slides explain the required license per se, which is required by the end client in order to use our Cetas ticket management agent. And this slide will be explained by Mr. Saravanan. Mr. Saravanan.
Thank you, Madan. Though we focused on more on the customer service AI agents, this gives us an opportunity to explain about our company overall services and the offerings what we do as a holistically. Cetas being an IT services and consulting company, we are a 16-year-old company where it was founded on 2010. And we primarily focus only on Microsoft business applications. So anything to do with an ERP. So ERP, we have two categorization. One is primarily focusing on enterprise, which we call it as a D365 F&O. And the second is a mid-size company, SMB, which is a D365 BC Business Central. And third, we focus on D365 CRM, caters into multiple modules, sales, customer insight, which is marketing, field service, or a customer service to the project operations. And fourth, which is a very popular, which is low-code, no-code platform, which is a Power Platform. And we executed a lot of projects on Power Platform and all the functional components, anything to do on Power Apps, Power Page, or a Power BI, Copilot Studio, and Power Automate. So all the functional components, we executed a lot of projects. And the location being based in India, we have office in Chennai and Bangalore, and office in Dubai as well as in US. And most of the European countries, we operate out of partners. And with a team size of 166 employees on board, all the employees are segregated into each and every functional department, business central or F&O to the CRM to the Power Platform. Each and every department spearheads by the CRM or VC or F&O Power Platform practice head. Under that, we have a functional technical consultants. Most of the consultants are certified. And close to 600 plus engagements, I would say, we did it in the past 16 years. So with the 16 years of experience, we carried a lot of experience in different verticals. And with that knowledge, we executed a lot of add-ons actually, which we call it as an ISVs. And all this close to 12 add-ons, what we have, which is listed in Microsoft Marketplace. All those add-ons are certified by Microsoft. It is a plugin. It adds towards the value to the Business Central or to the CRM. So it's all listed in the marketplace, and all these add-ons are sold by other partners across the globe. And close to 26 countries as on date we serviced and our footprint. And yeah, in European countries, we have close to 28 partners where we operate through partners and we execute a lot of projects. And of course, we also take care of LS retail. So any execution, any implementation support on LS retail also we do. And we are a gold certified partner for the past 12 years and cloud solution and application partner. And we are an ISO certified company. So with this, we are open the floor for Q&A. Feel free to type it in the chat, or you can also, yeah, feel free to type it on the chat actually. We'll be happy to answer and take it forward.
So there's a question from Kishore. Is there any alternative apart from entering the case number each time for the client? Will the client need to be recording the case number each time? May not be. There are other identifiers we use generally for identifying a particular case or something like that. So we can use the customer details like mobile number or email ID, with which we can actually fetch the customer details, and the related records of the customer can also be checked. So in that case, maybe again, so first there'll be again routing scenarios like there might be more than one case open for a particular customer. We need to populate all the cases and then check which status the customer wants and all that. So we can actually do that. I hope this answers the question. How much time would an agent like this take? Okay, so maybe I think you're asking the question about building the agent like this. I'm assuming that's the question. Yeah, probably 2 weeks should be good enough. I mean, as long as you're saying we have some testing scenarios and those kind of things. So that's the max time I'm saying. So somewhere roughly around this is the timeline for building such an agent. Yeah. Yeah, there's a question from Satya. So what knowledge sources can the agent draw the information from? So there are quite a few sources from which the knowledge details can be fetched, which is like say the Dataverse. It can actually fetch data from the Dataverse. It can actually fetch details from the SharePoint URLs. It can actually fetch details from any public websites. You can upload documents and it can actually fetch details from those particular documents. It can connect to enterprise data via custom connectors also, right? So all these sources are generally permitted. Yeah.
There's a question on the price. So yeah, definitely, I think we need to have one-on-one discussion because there are multiple components involved. So we need to identify based on the scope, and we can provide you the commercials.
Yeah, I just mentioned, I guess. So there was a question from Gokul Nathan. Can it integrate with non-Microsoft systems, say our order management or billing platform? Yes, with custom connectors through an MCP tool, we can actually integrate to non-Microsoft sources as well and fetch data related to orders, statuses, summary, and those kind of things. We can actually get it from the non-Microsoft sources. Yeah.
Nice.
Can the agent read from both SharePoint and Business Central to form an answer? Yes. As I mentioned again, so Dataverse and Business Central and SharePoint, yes, it can actually read the data from there and then give the answers. Yes.
And feel free to write to us for a one-on-one discussion. I will be happy to get on a call and can have a detailed discovery call and to move forward. I once again thank you for all of you for joining this session, and have a great day. Thank you.